Welcome back, guys. Phase 2 of Season of Discovery might be live by the time you watch this. We are doing the level 40 guides for all classes, guides where we cover overall best in slot gear, updated professions, multiple talent specs, which runes to use, and some tips and tricks. Yesterday we covered the Shaman, the secret weapon of the Horde. Today you guys voted in large numbers for the Paladin, the Pride of the Alliance, the only class that goes to church, the all-year November class. Let me know in the comments which class you want to see next from the 3 remaining ones. There's also an updated armory link in the pinned comment if any changes or mistakes arise. If you like the series, smash like, and with that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? The Red Paladin, as usual, it's formed from leather, mail, and plate items. We're gonna start with the helmet, which is the leatherworking helmet. 14 strength, 14 agility, 1% hit one. We need to go for this one, and we're going to lack hit at level 40 as the BFD buff, it's not going to work anymore, and the new one doesn't have any hit. We're going to have here 20% extra attack speed for 10 seconds, which is going to be great. For the necklace, the Peace Officer's Torque with 16 attack power, 1% crit. Into the Troxslayer shoulders, 12 agility and 22 attack power, 5 intellect. Drape of Dismantling, 8 strength, 6 agility. And then we go for the 2 pieces of the left set, and the 2 pieces will give us an extra % critical strike. I hope Blizzard will buff a bit the plate set. So far the plate set is inferior to the leather set when it comes to DPS. The Berserker Bracers from the Exalted Warsong Gulch, really cool stats, 14 strength, 6 agility. However, if you cannot get Exalted, just go for the next best thing, which are the Experimental Aim Stabilizers, 7 agility, 22 attack power. They're almost as good, basically. Almost. And then we go for the Thermoplug Rocket Cleaver, the two-handed axe from Nomar, 29 strength, 44 damage per second. Or you can go for a second option here if we select is the PvP sword called the Blood Avenger's Edge. 40 damage per second, 15 strength, but also 24 holy spells, damage done by holy spells and effects. Or the 360 speed. Now, if you're not lucky with the drop, maybe you're lucky to get this one from PvP. It also has a really great skin. Let me show if I can find one to put it on the screen. For the gloves, we have the Machinist gloves with extra attack power when fighting mechanical units, but also hit. We're gonna have about 3% hit from gear. Power assisted lifting belt if you're using the two-handed axe, but if you're a human and you're using the two-handed sword from PvP, from the Blood Moon event, just use the Dark Vision girdle, which will give 24 attack power and 1% more hit. Insulated legguards for 2 set piece bonus, which gives us 1% critical hit. And then we go for the Cavern Deep Sabatons, which are actually plate and they give some nice stats. Stamina, strength and agility, also some defense rating. For the rings we have the Protector's Band and the Hypercharged Gear of Devastation. Good stats, strength, agility, it's gonna be awesome. For the trinkets we have the Avenger Void Pearl from BFD, really easy to obtain in phase 2. If you got yourself the one for spell power, I'm not sure exactly if you can change it, let me know in the comments below. And Gyromatic Experiment 420B, another 18 AP, but also use attack speed by 5%. Libram of Benediction is the new Libram, which reduces the mana cost of your seal spells by 10. More useful than the one from phase 1. Now let's move to the Retribution talents. For talents, we went 5 out of 5 improved Blessing of Might, 20% extra attack power to Blessing of Might, which I think is going to be 85 attack power. About 20 to 25 attack power from those 5 points. Benediction, 15% mana cost reduce on seals, 2 points into Judgment, 2-second decrease cooldown. Parry, it's nice when you solo do because you have parry haste, but unfortunately in raids we're not gonna parry a lot since we're doing only DPS. 5 points into Conviction, 5% critical strike. I'm going to take Seal of Command because we're taking Divine Storm. However, I think recently they buffed Seal of Martyrdom. I think only in terms of how much mana I get back. 2 out of 2 Pursuit of Justice. This allows me to move faster, but also allows me to put on my boots an offensive enchant rather than movement speed. Moving into two-handed weapon spec, 6% damage with 200 melee weapons. Sanctity Aura, 10% holy damage to all party members. And Vengeance 5 out of 5 gives you a 15% bonus to physical and holy damage you deal for 8 seconds after dealing a critical strike from a weapon swing, spell, or ability. This is gonna be probably a perma proc because we have a lot of abilities to proc. We're gonna get soon into the runes. And I took like a Repentance for the last spell. I know it's not going to do much in PvE, but it's nice to have overall. For the runes, we have Divine Storm, nice damage, but also a bit of AoE damage. Exorcist will have new ranks of Exorcism, I think rank 3 from rank 1, lots of damage. Crusader Strike, free mana, 75% weapon damage, and with the new weapons, oh my god. The new rune, it's the important one, the Sheet of Light, which says the following. Dealing damage with your melee weapon increases your spell power by an amount equal to 30% of your attack power for 1 minute. So at level 14 BIS gear, unbuffed, I think you will have around 600 attack power, maybe more. Fully buffed in a raid, you'll probably reach even close to 900 or 1000. 30% out of this is gonna be close to 300 spell power for 1 minute at perma buff. This is gonna be huge. Spells like Exorcism, spells like the Seals, Judgments are going to benefit from this. And then we move to the next rune, the Foot rune, the Art of War. Your melee critical strikes reset the cooldown on your Holy Shock and Exorcism, the melee critical strike. So basically, Exorcism will be able to proc more than once per fight. The only problem that I see here is that we're gonna struggle a bit with mana probably. Let me know what you guys think about the Red Paladin Phase 2. I think those new 2 runes are going to make a huge difference on how the Red Paladin is going to be played in Phase 2. Now let's move to something new, something exciting, the Shockadin. Quick disclaimer here, I combined the Shockadin with the Holy Paladin based on my own preference. We don't know exactly how this is going to work as it hasn't been tested before, so take this with a grain of salt. If you're looking to parse 99, this is not the guide for you. So let's get right into the best in slot gear. The letter working seems to do magic and wonders for the Paladin, as you can use for Red the helmet, but if you're playing Holy or if you're playing Shockadin, you can also make a variety of other helmets that can benefit you in other encounters. Here we choose the one with 100% of your mana regeneration to continue for 20 seconds, but also 50 spell power buff for 20 seconds. Nice stats as well, 11 stamina, 12 intellect, 11 spirit. Fist and Pendant, 9 spell power. Into the Synthetic Mantle with 12 spell power, lots of stamina and intellect as well. Blood Rot Cloak, damage and healing done by magical spells and effects up to 11. Into the Shockforged Breastplate, which has great stats, intellect, stamina, critical strike with spells, damage and healing, but the set bonuses are quite great. It goes for 2 set bonus are 12 spell power, and 3 set bonus are 2% critical hit with holy spells. For bracers, the Dark Iron Bangles, a 9 spell power and 1% hit. And then I found a sword with 15 spell power and also a shield with 12 spell power. So we have good stats here. We have on the shield stamina and intellect spell power, and on the sword we have only 15 spell power. There is another option from the PvP event, the Eclipsed Bloodlight Saber, which has stamina, intellect, and also 14 damage done by holy spells and effects. Both of them are nice. The second one, I just think it looks a bit cooler. For the gloves, I went for Fighter Ace gloves. Not sure exactly why I chose those ones, because you can get the Dreamwave gloves, which have 18 spell power. For the belt, we got the Girdle of Reclamation, which has strength, stamina, intellect, and 16 spell power. And then we have the last 2 pieces from the Shockforged Battle Gear, and the leg plates have 8 stamina, 12 intellect. 22 damage and healing done by magical spells and effects. Oh my god, this looks like level 60 gear. Boots have 7 stamina, 11 intellect, and 13 spell power, and obviously those juicy nice set bonuses, which are great for both healing and DPS. For the ring, we went for the spell power ring with 11 spell power, for MP5, and then we went for the Warsong Gulch Lore Keeper's ring with 9 spell power and some MP5 as well. The Invoker Pearl and the Miniaturized Combustion Chamber into the Libram of Benediction, which reduces the mana cost of your seal spells by 10. One thing I want to point out, the difference between getting this set and a full healing set, it's about 60 more healing spell power. So with a full set, I think you have 287 healing power, and this way you have 223. I think this is going to be much more fun to play. You're going to be able to do a bit of damage during fights. You're going to be able to grind outside in the world. It's a level 40 cap. If you're not going to parse 99 as a healer, just get a set like this and it's going to be much more fun. Now let's move into the talents and runes. For talents, we basically have a full holy spec with 5 points into divine intellect, 10% intellect, 5 points into spiritual focus, which gives you a 70% chance not to interrupt your heals, 3 points into healing light, increases the amount healed by your holy light and flash of light by 12%. And then we have consecration, and I'm going to have up to rank 3 consecration. I'm really curious how it's going to scale with about 300 spell power. I took 1 point into improved lay on hands, 2 points into unyielding fate, 5 points into illumination after getting a critical effect from your flash of light, holy light, or holy shock heal spells. Gives you a 100% chance to gain mana equal to the base cost of the spell. 2 points into improved blessing of wisdom. When activated, gives your next flash of light, holy light, or holy shock spell a 100% critical effect chance. You're gonna see how this is going to synergize with the runes soon. And then we have increased the critical effect of your holy spells by 5%. Finally, we go into the creme de la creme, into the holy shock, which is the only spells that Paladin rely on for this entire spec that we talked about here. For runes, I went into Divine Storm. As you saw earlier, the epic one-hander from the Blood Moon event in Stranglethorn Vale is pretty cool. It's still gonna hit for a lot. However, if you go for Seal of Martyrdom, recently they buffed the Seal of Martyrdom, so you're getting twice the amount of mana back now. So if you have any mana issues, this is going to be a quick fix. Into the leg rune, which is going to be Exorcist. Exorcist is going to be rank 3. Now we have rank 1 at level 25. It's going to be at level 40, rank 3. For the hand rune, we have Crusader Strike, which is a free hit, 75% weapon damage. The cool thing is that it's giving you a bit of mana back, so you can keep on going as a paladin. And then we move to the Waste rune, the Infusion of Light, which increases the damage done by your Holy Shock by 20%. And your damaging critical strikes with Holy Shock reset the cooldown on Holy Shock and Exorcism and refund the cost. So you can see how this build is a bit focused on crit. And 20% for the Holy Shock damage at this level is going to be close to 50 damage. Holy Shock, it's on a 30-second cooldown. If you manage to reset it a couple of times, you can really do a nice burst. Also, we don't know exactly how Holy Shock is going to scale with spell damage, so it's yet to be discovered, it's yet to be tested. But then we move into the next rune, which is the Art of War. And if we use the Art of War on red, here we get double benefits because your melee critical strikes reset the cooldown on Holy Shock and Exorcism. Oh my god. So any melee critical strike can reset the cooldown of your spells. I'm not sure, it still feels like this is an RNG spec, but hey, in the past Paladins were used with RNG, and I think this spec is going to be based on RNG in the future. But at least it's going to be fun to play. Let me know in the comments below how you feel so far about the Red Paladin and the Shockadin. Now let's move to the tanking spec. Ho ho ho, the Tankadin spec and how I would play it. This is the BIS I would choose. The helmet would be the blacksmithing helmet with 16 strength, 16 stamina, 1% crit, and an interesting on-use effect which increases your resistance. However, I think the leather working helmet might still be BIS even for tanking. Although it's leather, it might still be BIS. The necklace, I went for the DPS neck because I think attack power is going to be important in protection paladins as well. Then we went for the plate shoulders with 12 strength, 11 stamina, into the drape of dismantling, into the hazard set, 3 pieces here, and I think Blizzard should slightly buff the set so people won't go in wearing like leather all around. Into the Berserker bracers, I would assume you won't have probably enough reputation to get those bracers. You can get the PvP bracers, they'll have a lot of stamina, strength, will be just great. And for the weapons, we have a set of epic weapons here, the Eclipsed Bloodlight Saber from the Stranglethorn event. I really like how it looks. I think I'm biased to this. I would use it. Into the Engineering Shield, which looks pretty cool and also has really great stats and really nice equip proc. The gloves, the Groovy Gauntlets, 9 strength, 1% hit. For the belt, I went for the Engineering belt. Since I already have the shield from Engineering, you can make 2 items. A 9 stamina, 1 hit, 1 crit, and also you have a gamble use effect on it. Hazard leg plates with hit and stamina and strength, great for paladins. And then we have the boots as well with strength and stamina. And then if you see the set bonuses, we have defense plus 7, 16 attack power, and 1 more % to hit. Protector Band into the Epic No More Ring. Protector's Band into the No More Epic Ring. Avenger Void Pearl with Gyromatic Experiment. Lots of attack power here. and Libram of Benediction. This way I'm gonna have a lot of attack power, around 600 with this setup. Now let's move to the talents and runes. For talents we went 5 points into Redoubt, into 5 points to Toughness, armor value from items by 10%, 3 points into Precision, 3% hit, huge, Blessing of Kings, 3 points into Shield specialization, increases the amount of damage absorbed by your shield by 30%. I went into Blessing of Sanctuary, immediately into 5 points in Reckoning. This is gonna allow me to pull multiple mobs and stack some of those extra attacks. It's going to be really nice. We went into 4 points in one-hand weapon spec, 8% damage dealt with one-handed melee weapons, into Holy Shield, which increases your chance to block by 30% for 10 seconds and deals 65 holy damage to each attack blocked while active. 4 charges. Now let's move to the runes. For runes here I went not for Martyrdom, not for Aegis, I went for Divine Storm. I guess I'm biased with this spell, I just like it so much. It does a lot of damage and also heals. It's gonna be great for AoE threat as well, so why not? Exorcist, so you can pump more threat, but you can also go if you prefer for Avenger Shield, it's not gonna be a big deal. Hand of Reckoning, obviously, and then we go to the Waste Rune and we chose exactly the same runes as the red spec. Now, I don't know, but 30% of your attack power converted into spell power seems like a lot, and it's going to help you pull more threat, and it's just gonna be better overall. The gear you just saw on the Paladin was about 600 attack power unbuffed. That means this buff is going to give you about 200 plus spell power every time. It's quite great. And then for the foot rune, your melee critical strikes reset the cooldown on your Holy Shock and Exorcism. That's why this is very good synergy with Exorcist. It's going to allow you to pull a lot of extra threat and also to burst down some mobs when needed. The first thing we see here at level 26 is Blessing of Salvation. I'm not sure if you're gonna buff Blessing of Salvation in a 10-man raid, but if you struggle a bit with holding threat and so on, you can buff the high DPS with Blessing of Salvation, and then you're gonna be just fine. A new rank of Blessing of Might is gonna give your attack power by 85, but also, if you have 5 points into improved Blessing of Might as red, it's gonna be over 100. You get Consecration as a Shockadin, which is rank 3, and is going to get more out of it. And then you get at level 40 a free mount, Summon Warhorse. It's not quite free, you have to pay a bit of the trainer, but compared to other classes, it's almost nothing. Other things we see here is a new rank of Hammer of Justice, rank 3, which stuns the target for 5 seconds. New blessings such as Blessing of Light, a Flash of Light, rank 3. But the most important thing here is Exorcism, rank 3, which is going to be spammed a lot by a lot of specs. Shockadins, Red Paladins, and even tanks will use Exorcism with the new runes, and it's gonna be pretty cool. 245 damage to an undead or demon target, which obviously doesn't have to be like that if you have the runes. Divine Shield, rank 1, and also Divine Intervention. Not to mention the Seal of Command, which is rank 3, and you train it at level 40. It's looking quite great for the Paladins. Let me know in the comments below which spec intrigues you the most so far. If you're looking to get into Season of Discovery or return to Wrath of the Lich King, level some new alts and so on, I highly recommend getting Restedxp add-on. The add-on is free with all its features, and the guides are available up to level 20, making your leveling fast but also efficient since now it incorporates rune guides. Is this add-on a necessity? Not necessarily. But if efficiency is your goal, Restedxp delivers. It has the potential to accelerate your leveling speed by 30 to 100%, ultimately saving you valuable /plate time that could be better spent elsewhere. Personally, I also use it to quest for gold at max level in each phase because it gives me a good route to follow for maximum gold per hour. And if by any chance in the future you think about making an upgrade to a full version, use my code Frostadamus for 5% off, links in the description down below. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, smash like, and given the fact that you're still watching the video, you might be interested in my second YouTube channel, Frostadamus TV. There's going to be a link right here on the screen, and you can easily find it in the description of the video right under the Twitch link. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoy Phase 2, and may you be blessed by the gods of RNG. Until next time, stay frosty. Bye bye!